Recently, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India has opined that off-budget borrowings made by the Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board alias KIFB for critical infrastructure projects have bypassed the limits set on government borrowings under Article 293 Clause 1 of the Constitution, and such borrowings do not have legislative approval. In today's explainer, we have to split out what is KIFB and what is KIFB borrowings issue. Off-budget borrowings are a means by which the government keeps its fiscal deficit in check by making quasi-government entities borrow on its behalf to partly fund its expenditure plan for the year. There are several provisions under the Constitution related to borrowings. We will come to that. Before that, we can explain what is actually meant by KIFB. The Kerala Infrastructure and Investment Fund Board was established in 1999 through the Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Act. The main objective of KIFB is to provide investment for critical and large infrastructure projects in the state of Kerala. KIFB was the first sub-sovereign entity in India to tap the offshore rupee international bond market. In 2019, KIFB issued its Masala bond of 2,150 crore on the London Stock Exchange, and Masala bonds are rupee denominated bonds, that is, the funds would be raised from overseas market in Indian rupees. The bond issue of KIFB helped Kerala government to get multinational corporations to invest in the state, which has traditionally been known for its unfriendly business policies, bureaucratic delays, and recurrent industrial strikes. In 2016, the role of KIFB was changed from the handler of investment bonds to an entity to mobilize the resources for developmental projects over and beyond the budget. Now, let us look into the various provisions of borrowing under Constitution of India. First one, borrowing by centre and states. Chapter 2 in Part 12 of the Constitution of India deals with the borrowing. Article 292 covers borrowing by the central government and Article 293 covers borrowings by states. Article 293 Clause 1 provides state legislate the power by law to enable or limit the state's executive powers of borrowing and giving guarantees. Under clauses 3 and 4 of Article 293, state governments needs to obtain the consent of sender for raising fresh loans in case they are indebted to the latter, and such consent may be granted subject to conditions. Now, let us focus what is the real issue. The Comptroller and Auditor General reported that KIFB has bypassed the limits set on government borrowings under Article 293 of the Constitution, as these borrowings did not have legislative approval. The CAG said that Entry 37 of the List 1 of the 7th Schedule of the Constitution gives powers of raising foreign loans only to the centre. Thus, KIFB borrowings are in violation of the Constitution and encroachment on the powers of the centre. KIFB borrowings have not been disclosed in the budget documents or in the accounts. It raises doubts on transparency and of intergenerational equity of the borrowings. The state has to furnish to sender all the financial statements showing the estimates of receipts and payments of all sources of borrowings, including open market borrowings. KIFB raised funds by issuance of bonds, which were to be repaid from the petroleum cess and the motor vehicle tax. CAG reported that Since the KIFB has no source of income, the borrowings by KIFB for which the state stood as guarantor may ultimately turn out to be a direct liability of the state government. The RBI was criticized for granting approval to the state to float masala bonds. The CAG raised concerns that if this mode was followed by other states, the external liabilities of the country would rise substantially without the centre's knowledge of such liabilities. Now, let us look into what is the stand of Kerala government. According to Government of Kerala, funds from KIFB are being used to build public infrastructures such as schools, roads, hospitals, etc. and such a move by CAG could hurt the interests of the state. Kerala government raised concerns over not giving the state an opportunity to offer its comments, observations or explanation before publishing of the report by the CAG. The Kerala government also highlighted the fact that the KIFB bonds were raised with the approval of RBI. The state government also advocated that RBI, which is a central body under Government of India, is given approval for KIFB prior. Then how such borrowings can be unconstitutional? For decentralization of financial autonomy, it is necessary to provide a mechanism for regulation of state subnational debt. It could promote macroeconomic fiscal stability of the states. Hence, exercise of power conferred to the centre by Article 293 should be strictly confined for the purposes and circumstances. Now, let us conclude this explainer. Since the state debt burdens have been rising because of recent financial shocks such as demonetization, introduction of GST and COVID-19 crisis, subnational fiscal policy of India needs to be reviewed to enable states for subnational borrowings. It shall provide them more opportunities to avail fiscal autonomy. Even the Kerala High Court in Matthew vs. Union of India case ruled that the Article 293 is an enabling provision authorizing state borrowing and it empowers the states to pass their own fiscal responsibility laws. Anyhow, there is a need to address the legislative concerns on KIFB raised by CAG, and the centre and Kerala government should take out remedial measures in public interest. Thank you.